gonna be the very best day of your life. It's gonna be, yeah. Do you believe it? It's gonna be the very best day of your life.
Yeah. You was picking out your fit, plan to decorate your crib. You was about to get it lit. I know. Yeah. Oh, what? Yeah. You look at me like I'm a threat, but really I'm just a blessing. This is what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. They know I'm the truth. On some that'll change your perspective. I know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. Walk around stressing, not realizing life is a blessing. Don't know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. And we don't get no but your flexing. All of your antics and presents. We know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. I can see it in your eyes, yeah, it's codependence. When you spend your time, see you're lacking vision. When you compromise, got no independence. You see me living life and you get offended. Yeah, you get offended. But come on to the other side. I am the light so you cannot hide. Tryna fit in, got you dead inside. Tried to kill me but I cannot die, yeah. I'm alive and you cannot take it. I'm on the rise and this crown I'm taking. On the winning side and there's no mistaking. No, you cannot fake this. You look at me like I'm a threat, but really I'm just a blessing. This is what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. They know I'm the truth. On some that'll change your perspective. I know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. Walk around stressing, not realizing life is a blessing. Don't know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. And we don't get no but your flexing. All of your antics and presents. We know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. Where your real friends at? Somebody tell me where your real friends at? Where your real friends at? I know you don't feel that. Yeah. But come on to the other side. I am the light so you cannot hide. Tryna fit in, got you dead inside. Tried to kill me but I cannot die, yeah. I'm alive and you cannot take it. I'm on the rise and this crown I'm taking. On the winning side and there's no mistaking. No, you cannot fake this. You look at me like I'm a threat, but really I'm just a blessing. This is what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. They know I'm the truth. On some that'll change your perspective. I know what it's like to be real. Come on, feel. Walk around stressing, not realizing life is a blessing.
This is pain, this is youth. This is all the hush-hush thoughts in your room. This is for the first time out with your crew. Getting words, I find joy in the bruise. Eyes with the power to seduce. Hand me the aux, we could cruise. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose.
Freedom, such an elusive concept for many, available to all, yet grasped by few. A freely given birthright, yet more costly in its expression than most believe they can afford. But what is the cost to live without it? Wars have been forged over it, and yet it belongs to the peaceful. Slaves have been made in their master's attempt to barter his or her way into its city gates. But the gates of freedom are not open to the despot. Many will cross oceans to find its shores, but its borders can be found within. Its name is heralded by all nations and tongues, though most never recognize its face in their lives. They welcome and wish to see its benefits, yet resist and refuse to walk out its precepts. Though many attempt to destroy or hide its reality in their futile effort for unwarranted control, the truth of freedom will outlast any of the dissipating lies that seek to blot out its existence. Freedom is not the erasure of all boundaries, but rather the embracing of those that are healthy and true. It is not the denial or blame of consequence, but rather the right and pathway into full responsibility of every outcome in your life. Freedom is not accepted by the weak. It is the way of the strong, the gateway to growth, progress, and ultimately for everyone, a life full of fulfillment.
And I'm giving you what you're asking for. Future told no time for digging up the past, bruh. Talking about all the people that didn't last. It's scarcity, it's time for using what you have. Just be grateful, the strong is always the last. Things are quick to settle for we could pass. People's choices are hardly the ones chosen. I'm stepping out of the grave, that's your omen. Yeah, flower child, inflorescent, warrior. Feel my presence, sagacity, pressure. From dead broke, going affluent. Underdog, made a past of it. On top of this shit, what's happening? Born in darkness, came to life. Within the masses, eternal life.
You give me new life. You give me new life. You give me new life. You give me new life. Oh, you give me new life. You give me new life. You give me new life.
They locked me out, outsider. Felt the pressure in the room when the boy beside him. Despite disguises, they can see the difference. Cubic don't shine the same in the diamond's presence. Them lights don't hold the same when the prophet's present. Impossible to tame when the locks are missing. The blocks are missing, the box is missing. Reach your hand to find a switch, but I'm wired different. You can think we work the same, but a profit different. You can think we preach the same, but the cloth is different. Sort of a maverick, I don't fit you boys' equations, I resist the average. Y'all playing Madden, I run the real plays, I just make it happen. Got the daughter saying, who would've thunk of it? Life gave me the assist, made a dunk of it. I'm the one the papers chasing, soul is dumb rich. Truth's #1 supply, you can come get it.
You give me new life. 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 Oh, you give me new life.
Hey, let's run it back. I think I got one more.
You give me new life.
Yeah. you wasting time waiting, thinking I'ma fall behind. I'm the future, baby, I ain't even seen my prime. Culture spinning on my axis, so I'm never late. You just left to try to catch the waves that I create, but this ain't surfing, no, these waters for the boat. You never catch it from just talking about it, Lord knows. Got them nodding from the bars I wrote a decade ago. That's how you know when it's the truth, 'cause they'll never get old. And I know you getting tired of the lies when they catch you in the vulnerable times, then they robbing you blind. I know they look like sheep in the eyes, but they're wolves in the mind. Take your innocence to hang you to dry. If you question anything that they try, I speak from a confident mind and there's tears in your eyes. And it make you wanna go, and it make me wanna go on them, hang them from their feet. I just do it with my speech.
You give me new life. 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 Oh, you give me new life.
This is pain, this is youth. This is all the hush hush thoughts in your room. This is for the first time out with your crew. Getting f***ed up, find joy in the bruise. Eyes with the power to seduce. Hand me the aux, we could cruise. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose.
Freedom, such an elusive concept for many, available to all, yet grasped by few. A freely given birthright, yet more costly in its expression than most believe they can afford. But what is the cost to live without it? Wars have been forged over, and yet it belongs to the peaceful. Slaves have been made in their master's attempt to barter his or her way into its city gates. But the gates of freedom are not open to the despot. Many will cross oceans to find its shores, but its borders can be found within. Its name is heralded by all nations and tongues, though most never recognize its face in their lives. They welcome and wish to see its benefits, yet resist and refuse to walk out its precepts. Though many attempt to destroy or hide its reality in their futile effort for unwarranted control, the truth of freedom will outlast any of the dissipating lies that seek to blot out its existence. Freedom is not the erasure of all boundaries, but rather the embracing of those that are healthy and true. It is not the denial or blame of consequence, but rather the right and pathway into full responsibility of every outcome in your life. Freedom is not accepted by the weak. It is the way of the strong, the gateway to growth, progress, and ultimately for everyone, a life full of fulfillment.
Today I'm gonna live my dreams and accept how God created me. I won't let confusion, frustration, insecurity stop me. So I've made up in my mind that I'll be all that I'm meant to be, yeah. And there's nothing in this world that I'll let block me. I gotta get what's mine, yeah, yeah. No hater can stop my favor. It's not determined by you anyway. And I've been waiting for this moment in my life, so I ain't worried about what he has to say. And please believe me, you don't have to bet on me, 'cause I'll bet on me any day. what's meant for me. I gotta get what's mine. Yeah, yeah. I gotta get what's mine. 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 Yeah, yeah. I gotta get what's mine. I gotta get it, go get it. What's mine, I gotta get what's mine, I gotta get what's mine. I gotta get what's mine, I gotta get what's mine, I gotta get what's mine. I'm giving it, I'm focused. I've got my mind right, this ain't bogus. Cause I never knew what I had until you came in, you worked it out. Said I'm strong and I'm moving on. I'm thankful cause you showed me that my deepest fear was not my failure, but that I'm powerful beyond measure. I thought, who was I to be brilliant and change the world? I'm freeing all of my enemies to change the world.
Yeah, yeah. I believe in this season that we'll rise above all our seasons, flying high for a lifetime. So y'all move over cause it's high time. Believe me, we going somewhere. The ground's fit good and we ain't staying here. Forget reminiscing and grieving, cause we exist for this reason, to bring back hope to our daughters, make more men of our brothers. This legacy to our fathers, that security to our mothers, to spread more light to the nations, pursue all peace with all patience, presenting God-like lifestyles. Y'all thought wrong, but it's right now. Donate millions to children, secure our future from villains. Culture shifting how you're living. Don't try to keep up, man, we different. We gon' live how we want to. Kids gon' eat like they want to. Trillion dimensions through our visions. Cooking up culture in our kitchen. Celebrating forever.
This is pain, this is youth. This is all the hush-hush thoughts in your room. This is for the first time out with your crew. Getting f***ed up, find joy in the bruise. Eyes with the power to seduce. Hand me the aux, we could cruise. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose.
Freedom, such an elusive concept for many, available to all, yet grasped by few. A freely given birthright, yet more costly in its expression than most believe they can afford. But what is the cost to live without it? Wars have been forged over it, and yet it belongs to the peaceful. Slaves have been made in their master's attempt to barter his or her way into its city gates. But the gates of freedom are not open to the despot. Many will cross oceans to find its shores, but its borders can be found within. Its name is heralded by all nations and tongues, though most never recognize its face in their lives. They welcome and wish to see its benefits, yet resist and refuse to walk out its precepts. Though many attempt to destroy or hide its reality in their futile effort for unwarranted control, the truth of freedom will outlast any of the dissipating lies that seek to blot out its existence. Freedom is not the erasure of all boundaries, but rather the embracing of those that are healthy and true. It is not the denial or blame of consequence, but rather the right and pathway into full responsibility of every outcome in your life. Freedom is not accepted by the weak. It is the way of the strong, the gateway to growth, progress, and ultimately for everyone, a life full of fulfillment.
They're treating you mean, they're killing your dreams, they're pleading your steam. They're jealous of us, they're burying your potential's too much. If you would just lift up yourself, believe in you, there's really nothing else that they could ever do. They hiding the truth, they following you, cause you got the jewel. But that is enough, it's time to step up by realizing you're more than they could ever handle. I pray that you're hearing me. You're perfect as you really are. The world will see just own who you are. You are beautiful. Own who you are. You are powerful. Own who you are. You are special. Own who you are. You are royal.
Hourglass, all class, maybe wanna spend some time with you. Girl, you know what you mean to me. I believe you were made for me. Girl, you better use your honor. It's time to let the world know it. Cause what's a star to the world if it hides its light from the world below it? I done seen them competing with you, non-stop. You ain't wanna see them do it, steady measuring, but never measuring up to you. They could never do it. Friends soon turn to enemies. Don't let them take what's meant to be. Just make that thing your energy. Just own who you are. Just
Own who you are. You are beautiful. Own who you are. You are powerful. Own who you are. You are special. Own who you are. You are royal. Own who you are. You are beautiful. Own who you are. You are powerful. Own who you are. You are special. Own who you are. You are royal. This is pain, this is youth. This is all the hush-hush thoughts in your room. This is for the first time out with your crew. Getting f***ed up, find joy in the bruise. Eyes with the power to seduce. Hand me the aux, we could cruise. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose. Some nights I feel like I got nothing to lose.
Freedom, such an elusive concept for many, available to all, yet grasped by few. A freely given birthright, yet more costly in its expression than most believe they can afford. But what is the cost to live without it? Wars have been forged over it, and yet it belongs to the peaceful. Slaves have been made in their master's attempt to barter his or her way into its city gates. But the gates of freedom are not open to the despot. Many will cross oceans to find its shores, but its borders can be found within. Its name is heralded by all nations and tongues, though most never recognize its face in their lives. They welcome and wish to see its benefits, yet resist and refuse to walk out its precepts. Though many attempt to destroy or hide its reality in their futile effort for unwarranted control, the truth of freedom will outlast any of the dissipating lies that seek to blot out its existence. Freedom is not the erasure of all boundaries, but rather the embracing of those that are healthy and true. It is not the denial or blame of consequence, but rather the right and pathway into full responsibility of every outcome in your life. Freedom is not accepted by the weak. It is the way of the strong, the gateway to growth, progress, and ultimately for everyone, a life full of fulfillment.
Welcome to The Way, an Iexist event. I want to say on behalf of everyone here that we're honored to have you join us for today's training and session. As a coaching and counsel company, we've been serving others since 2018, and we know that your growth, success, and fulfillment is vital, not only to yourself, but to everyone around you. And it's at the core of our heart and mission here that everyone possible be pressed and empowered to lead a life that is full of fulfillment. Thank you so much for accompanying us on this experience. We're looking forward to see how this will impact the many of you. Share this with your family and friends, all those that you love, to grant them the opportunity to partner with you as you become all that you are. Enjoy.
Thank you so much. So much. Welcome to The Way. This is going to be the business and leadership edition, I'm almost certain, today. But sometimes, I told you before, I wax a little bit scriptural and things like that. Just stay with me as I'm giving you probably a good bit of information. I've already decided that I'm not going to be reading a whole lot today, because when I start to read, especially some type of scriptural context or something like that, I get stirred even more than I probably need to. And then I'll end up sitting in front of you for 2.5 hours. And the cameraman has already threatened. No, I'm just kidding. He's already made it known. No, I'm also kidding with that too. But I don't want to hold you that long. All right. So I want to jump straight in today. I'm sure, hopefully most of you know by now that subscribing, liking the video, sharing this video with your family, friends, those who you love, who you may not love at the moment, who you just want to send a couple jabs through me, potentially, if you're like, oh my God, so-and-so needs to hear this. And then, just because you don't like what they did last week or something like that, it's completely fine. I'll take the fall for the jab you actually want to give. Go ahead and send it to everybody. Actually, this is going to be a very good class. Pay attention. Again, this will be a lot of information. I'm going to be shooting a lot of stuff at you that will be very helpful to you. For some of you, it could be detrimental information, right? Something that may really set you on course if you may be off course, and we'll get straight to it. So here's the idea I want to present. The idea I want to present to you today. Okay. Life is not just for the making. Okay. Life is for the taking. Okay. Not necessarily the best grammar there, but here's how you need to view what I said. A lot of you have heard the phrase, life is what you make it. Okay. And for a lot of us that potentially came from a particular background in which you had to work with scraps, I used the phrase before that some of us had to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, kind of make lemonade out of lemons that were handed to us as children or whatever predicaments we were born into. In those situations, we can see the idea that life can become what we make it, right? You can be dealt bad cards, but if you deal them properly, if you know how to take, again, scraps and make them into substance or something that will satisfy you, that is a real presentation or a real picture of what it means to make something out of the life that you've been given, right? A lot of us are familiar with that, right? But here's what I want to present to you today that may be a little bit harder for us to conceptualize. Again, specifically, maybe if you come from a particular background in which you've had to make something out of the life that you were handed. Life is not just for the making, it's also for the taking. So really quickly, just to make sure that I give you adequate context for what I mean by this, I'm going to set some parameters, because there's a couple things I need you to not ever think is what I'm saying. And then there's a lot of things that I want you to realize and understand that I'm saying over the course of time, right? Number one, taking throughout this entire messaging has nothing to do with stealing. Okay. I've learned over time, it's not important. Just important what you teach or what you say is important what you don't say. All right. So I'm making sure to try to cover all ground here. Taking is not stealing. Let me just set that from the first elements of this speech. Okay. At the foundation. Here's how you need to look at it. Okay. Taking should be viewed as in you taking an opportunity. Okay. Actually, let me frame it for you this way. Success, victory in your life, true success is going to be a series of this particular pattern. Life gives, I take. Okay. Again, pay attention. Life gives. It was given first, then I take it. What's not given, I don't take. Okay? God, life has to give me, then I take it. So when I take an opportunity, when I take authority, when I take a chance, that chance was given. That authority was given. That opportunity was given first. I want to really help a lot of you because you're familiar with making. You're not as familiar with taking. And I'm telling you at the forefront of this conversation that a lot of the manifestation of dreams that you've had for years, maybe since you were a child, things like that, is going to be predicated upon you learning not just how to make, but there's an attitude that you need that's going to allow you to be able to take. I'm already loving where this is going. Because of poverty, because of sometimes what has been bad training, there's almost this settling for just quote, quote, taking what I can get. Whatever you got, I'll take it. Okay. There's a problem with this thought pattern. Number one, when I'm in a settled place to where I'm just taking anything, most of the time, whatever is being given to you is the bare minimum. There's also another problem with that mentality. And here's where I'll get into a brief concept really quickly. Sometimes what's being given to you is in another man's hand. Let me teach you this very quickly. There's a difference between what's in a man's hand. And when I say man, I'm saying a human. What's in a man's hand and what is his possession. There's a difference between what's in his hand and what's in his possession. I am allowed, please follow me. If life gave, if God gave, to take what may be in a man's hand, but never what's a man's possession or what's in his possession. These are two different things. Why I have to make you familiar with the concept, the idea of taking today is because many of us don't yet have not yet received what we want to see in this life. Again, many of the dreams, the aspirations, the visions that could be present, that could be manifested in our lives have not shown themselves in the way of fruition as of yet because of what we have left on the table because we did not take. Okay. I'll help you frame this up a little bit better as we go along, okay? There's a biblical narrative that I want to cover while we're talking about this idea of taking. And if you don't understand taking, hopefully this helps present it in a way in which you can grasp it. Because there's two times in the not just biblical, but the historical figure, King David. There's two times in his life that I want to highlight that he takes. One, he was righteous for taking. The other, he was a little ratchet. Okay. He was not right. So this is becoming, I'm actually falling in love with this story. The forbidden love of David and Saul's daughter, Michal. Okay. Now, these are Hebrew names, and so I'm not going to be pronouncing them probably in which the way a born Israelite, Jew, Hebrew would actually pronounce them. I apologize. I know it would be a Michal or something like that, right? I understand. I'm Americanized, okay? So David, Saul's daughter, Michal, okay? Very interesting story because Michal, who was a daughter of Saul, was set to be a queen at a particular point. David enters Saul's house, long story short, and what I hope is that a lot of you will read the story of David, the biblical text about him and things like that, so that a lot of what I'm saying is not, I don't want to skip over too much. I'm just giving context to a particular theme today. But the whole story is good. Actually, one of the best narratives, or the way that it's been painted, is in one of the live action television shows, I think, that's come out within the last 2 years or so. I actually really love it. I believe it's called The House of David. It highlights a lot of these themes. Again, but the forbidden love. Why was this, quote, quote, forbidden, especially at the time? Because Saul, number one, didn't like David. Okay. Saul counted David out from the very jump. Every time you see Saul, who was king of Israel at the time, I don't have a lot of time to give you so much context, but just please follow along. Saul, who was king at the time, David, who would become king next, okay, who had greatness in him, was a king inside another king's house. Okay. And I don't know if you know this by experience, but a lot of times, they say anything with two heads is a monster, right? One of the quickest ways to get into a fight you never intended to be in is to be a king in another king's house. Because the given authority of one king has not yet quite been delegated. There's a delegated authority that's in play, and then there's a given authority, I'm saying given by life, given by God, that has yet to manifest. And this can be one of the most frustrating relationships. I don't have time to get into that, okay? But just know that Saul did not like David. He underestimated him at every turn. Although David was his house's champion, he made Saul actually look good because of all the victories that he was winning for Israel. Yet Saul who was not a warrior like David, he was a war strategist. Okay. Saul's game was here. David primarily, especially at the time, his game was here. Okay. Two different types of houses in the same house. Saul hated David. Long story short, why? How could this love be forbidden? Not only was David hated by the king, not in the way of David didn't perform great work for Saul or didn't win battles for Saul, but David was a threat to Saul. So Saul despised the idea that David could rise to the occasion of more influence, more affluence, or anything like that. Saul dominated his kingdom. And any thought that someone else could have more influence, more affluence in a kingdom that he was dominating was terrifying. And so for that reason, Saul was always on the skirts of cowardice and manipulation. So we're talking about a girl who was caught in the trap of crossing kingdoms, crossing leadership, crossing into another house, or being tempted to while she was in her father's house. Meaning crossing influence. Okay? I hope you're getting this. Please read the story so that I don't feel bad for skipping over a lot of detail. Okay? The issue becomes this. At a particular point, the Bible narrative, the Bible says that without David initiating a thing, and I love this because this is the one reference in scripture. The one. This is why I'm starting to love this story so much. There's one out of all the husbands and wives in scripture, there's one reference to a woman loving a man. And that's Michal's love for David. The Bible says that Michal loved David. Some translations say that she fell in love with David. Just while he was amongst the people in Saul's house. Okay. Now, this was, again, a forbidden love because she would have literally been crossing kingdoms inside her own house, right? Which is almost like a betrayal to marry, to be betrothed to your dad's enemy, right? So now we have this situation where David, unbeknownst to him, is encountering love. Okay. Long story short, there's another daughter in play, and we have to understand this about Saul. He's a tactical man. Everything he did was for his purpose, to the point to where even his daughters were just pawns on his chessboard. I've heard people who look at this story actually start to wonder, because of particular things that are written about David, did he actually love Michal? And I'll in that theory that he didn't for you real quick. I would more so argue, did her own father love her? And not just her, but the rest of the daughters, because they were political plays to him. If they didn't marry in a way that created affluence, attention, influence, things like that to the leader, to the father, to Saul, then I'm pretty certain they would be considered betrayers. He only did things for his own affluence, influence. This was Saul's tactic, to where even his daughters, again, became pawns in his scheme. So you hear this story. First of all, let's say this very quickly. David, by defeating Goliath, was supposed to win one of Saul's daughters. Okay. Merab, not pronounced correctly, I know. His older daughter was who Saul thought to offer first. The truth is, David was kind of like, and I love how the live action actually portrays this too, right? He's like, I'm good on that, right? Because honestly, in the live action portrayal, David and Michal had already met, and, you know, his love started to fester for her, okay? So he's like, I'm good on Merab. Long story short, Saul marries her off for political gain. Saul's the politician, by the way, again, all here. But then it says that Saul hears about Michal's love for David. And the story states that Saul actually got happy. Now you're like, now I thought Saul, you already framed it that Saul hated David. Why would he get happy when he finds out that his daughter loved David? He got happy because he saw it as an opportunity to take against David. Remember, I just said even his daughters were chess pieces on his chessboard. So he thought, I'm going to use my daughter to get rid of David. Okay. Long story short, there became a time in which David and Michal get together, right? But the issue becomes that at that time, and they were married, and here's gonna debunk your idea that David absolutely loved Michal. How do we know? Because he was asked to kill 100 Philistines for her as a price. David killed 200. Killed 200 men and took their foreskins. He, what's the word? I don't want to say castrate, but I mean, that's good enough. But what is it called? What happens to babies 8 days? Circumcised. Yeah, he circumcised 200 grown men for this girl. Okay. After they were dead. Maybe some of them while they were alive. I don't know. He might have got into his love might have been burning so much he was just torturing folks. Okay. If that ain't love, I don't know what is. You think he didn't love her, you're crazy. All right. So he pays the price, the bride price. At the time, Saul gives her to him reluctantly because he thought setting that bride price was going to kill David. So he saw Michal as an opportunity to frame David into a particular position in which he would fail. And it didn't work because it never did. All right. Let's go to a second story. David, later on in his life, is living his life up. He becomes king, things like that. And I want to go really fast now, so I'm gonna have to fast forward. I apologize. But he's on his roof one day at a time in which kings go to war. Okay. He's on the roof. He sees a woman bathing from his roof. Okay. Here's what I want to get to. He inquires about the woman because she's very beautiful. Who is this woman? They tell him, hey man, it's one of this is a friend, not friend the way we think, like very close relationship, but friend as in the guy was on David's side and he worked for him and he worked for him in David's army. Okay. Not best friend, just a friend, as in he was on his side. This is your guy, so-and-so's wife. Have her come to me. So he sent for her. And the Bible says that the messengers took her. Okay. Earlier, you'll read David goes on the run. Here's another thing that lets you know McCall's dad didn't love her, because as soon as he had the opportunity and David's out of his sight, he annuls their relationship, their marriage that he gave him in the first place, and marries her off to a nobody. Probably one to spite David, and just because he hated David. Let's just put it that way. So the thought becomes, okay, we'll see who loves McCall when he marries her off to some fool. Okay. Somebody that could also be a pawn in his scheme. More than likely. All right. So what happens is, over time, again, I'm making a long story short, when David comes into his kingship, he asked one of Saul's old employees, hey, make sure that as I'm going to take this kingdom, go get Michal for me. He never forgot about her, even though he had to leave her at a particular point. Okay. Michal, at the time, this is so good, is married to another man. The Bible says that the messengers went and took her from her husband. Now we have two instances here in which a woman, one on a roof bathing, he looks at her, sends a messenger, the messenger takes her. She sleeps with him. It's a whole story. Okay. You need to read it. The Bible is actually very, what you would call juicy, like scandalous. Okay. Sleeps with the lady. It's better than your favorite internet series right now. Okay. I promise. Sleeps with the lady. They ended up having a child. He has to kill his boy because he's trying to frame up a situation to make it look like he's not the one that got her pregnant, and it's not turning out for him. I believe he learned all this stuff from Saul. I think a little bit of Saul got into him from earlier. Okay. But anyway, okay. But let's go back. So he took her, but they also took Michal. Okay. Now you have to remember, I said this, how did I frame this conversation up? Was one of the ways that I did, that there's a difference between what's in a man's hand and what's in his possession. We're going to do a little bit of comparing and contrasting. I don't know how much I'm going to do, but I could do a whole lot of comparing and contrasting. But these two stories are the same in this. David sent a messenger and took another man's wife. But you'll read later on, in the instance of him taking his friend's wife, there's a prophet named Nathan that comes who chastises David for the act because God was angry with him for taking that man's wife. What does that mean? It means that she was in another man's possession. Okay. But when David took his wife from, and I forget the guy's name, Palau something, the guy that Saul gave her to. This is going to get good, interesting in 2 seconds. The guy that Saul gave her to, she was just in his hand. Yet again, there's a difference between in what's a man and what is in a man's hand in what's in a man's possession. Okay? You need to know this, because I'm trying to take you all past the stage of just making a life. Some of the dreams you don't have right now are because these dreams specifically are not for the making. These dreams, some of the bigger ones, some of the glorious ones, some of the magnificent ones, the ones that people won't even believe when they see it, those are for the taking. It ain't gonna be easy. So listen real quickly to what I just said. Now I'm thinking about, I just said that these dreams, the unbelievable ones, they're often the ones that are for the taking. These ones you gotta take. I wanted to partner the idea real quick of David and McCall. Like, I've been, sorry, this is going to sound like I'm fanboying or something like that, but like I've been saying about the whole Tom Holland and Zendaya thing. I'm like, we don't deserve this. I've never fanboyed over anything. And it's like that relationship is just like, this is what type of stars had to align for that type of thing to happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's just funny to me. All right. I pray they make it for eternity. Right. But part of me don't even care how long. It's like if it didn't last that long, it's like the difference between seeing a shooting star and a star that's up there. You know what I mean? Like, I love them both. You get what I mean? So hope you make it long term. But I promise you, I'm glad whoever took whatever taking had to happen for this to come into existence. Thank God that we get to see it, even if it were a shooting star. Okay. All right. Little joke, but I'm partly serious about that. Lets you know that dreams come true in life. Okay. Some things are just unmistakably gorgeous. Okay. You all have that. So I'm saying that to say that some things are for the taking. When we're talking about the unbelievable, the Zendaya and the this coming together and you just happen to meet on this, you get what I'm saying? Like, some stuff is like, there has to be a particular, and I'm not speaking for them in saying this, I'm saying those type of magical things. A lot of you think that I just want to receive it, or I'm going to make it out of scraps or something like that. Some things are for the taking. Okay. Now notice David had to take both. One, he was chastised for because it was improper for him to take what was in another man's possession. Now, also earlier, here's where it's going to get really interesting. I said to you that I said this is another frame, that your victories in life, your successes, your high successes are going to happen in a pattern of life giving, God giving, and me taking. Now notice, how do we know that it wasn't Saul that actually gave Michal to David? Although he was his daughter and the man's hand that she was in. This is where we have to go to, and Michal loved David. Let me remind you, this is a forbidden love. At the time, listen, this is like giving, it would literally be giving your daughter to someone you perceive as your enemy. He used her as a pawn to try to entrap David. Saul, who was no priest, no gentleman, who was very much so into the mechanics of political prowess, image driven. Y'all have to understand this too. The type of guy Saul is the one that this the type of guy that is puppeteering, but wants you to think he not doing it, right? So he really want Michal to turn against David, and a David to turn against Michal, and a David to fall because of Michal, and all these things. This is a puppeteer guy. He's all working in the background. Meanwhile, you have to understand David was both a musician and a warrior for Saul. Okay? Think about what I'm saying. Here's also why it's forbidden. I'm sorry, I'm going back. Because to Saul, David's just one of his workers, hireling, whatever the thing. And we're talking about a king's daughter. Why would I want her to go to one of my servants? He would have posed and proposed to Michal that David wasn't even good enough. He don't even match your standards. Don't you know we're better than this? Putting all type of stuff in their head. Oh, by the way, this is all in secret. But David is no dummy. Okay. But here's what I'm saying. How did we know that Michal was given to David by God? Because what initiated them coming together was, and Michal loved David. I don't even know, coming from a family in which everybody's used as pawns, like your daughters are on the slave trade, I don't even know how likely it is that somebody's actually capable of love of the genuine kind. But if the Bible this is the only woman that is mentioned from a woman to a man that she loved David, because life gave her to David. David didn't even ask for it. David just showed up to work one day. Okay. And also notice this. Let's contrast compared to this. When Saul gave, it wasn't even recognized in heaven. So when David took her from her husband at the time, there was no foul called by God. But because God, long story short, did not give Bathsheba to David, there was a flag on the play. He ended up losing a child because of it, things like that. God made it up to him later, things like that. But he went through a lot of hell because of it, things like that. Okay? There was punishment involved. So just comparing and contrasting these two narratives for a second, all I'm pointing out to you is that this is what you need to learn, that in life, there's gonna be a time for taking. And I want to say this too, because if you know anything about these two stories, one thing that's pointed out a whole lot is that David took Bathsheba at a time in which he was supposed to be warring. But life gave Michal to David. Here's what maybe you've never heard before, because I'm the first person I know to say this. She was even given at the wrong time. It was the right time for a relationship. But a queen is made for coronation. Biblically, the idea is that a brother is given to you for adversity. When there's a time of conflict, I need a brother. But a queen isn't needed so actually, she doesn't come back around to David's life, in which that's the time when he had to take her until he was being crowned. That was proper timing. Although God decided that their love would meet years before. So there was a right time for the initiation, for the love to be stirred. There's another argument. I'm sorry I have to say this for some of you. There's another argument that if David would have loved Michal, why didn't he take her when he was fleeing from Saul, who was always after David to kill him? Because he saw him as a threat, an enemy. Why didn't he take her? And people will argue that he didn't love her. Timing, people. You know what was a show of his love? He actually left her. Michal is domesticated. And a queen is not made for conflict. A queen is made for a coronation. So until he was crowned, he was not even ready for her. Okay? But when the time came, hear me, he took. One or two more things that taking is not, I told you. And I gave you these two instances because in one of them, he was actually stealing. That was the problem. He took another man's wife and then took the man's life to cover it up. Let me compare and contrast it just a little bit more. The difference is one was initiated by love that David didn't even ask for, he walked into. The other was just lust. But notice in both times, first of all, there's no record of David mistreating a woman. It wasn't even in his heart. For as much as sin might have gotten on David at a particular time, the reason why Saul could never entrap David is because there was no sin in him. He's called by his son, Solomon, that actually came from his adulterous relationship. Later on, a man faithful to God. You biblicists, you people that attend church and things like that, know David to be a man after God's own heart, right? But it says that David, because of his heart posture, the way he lived, the way he was actually internally, his own son, Solomon, called him a man who was faithful, not only faithful to God, but upright in heart. Okay? He didn't have it in him. So even, let me tell you this too. Here's a couple more things, just so y'all don't get loony on me. I'm not saying anything crazy. I will always say this, and I am for a mature people. Okay? But still, let me say what I'm not saying so you don't go too far with this. Take ain't stealing. That's what taking from a man's possession is, or taking of a man's possession, right? That's the whole compare and contrast here. David was wrong for taking what was not his, that had not been given to him by God. We know that Michal was given to him by God because her love burst through. And we recognize God as being described as love. So where else was the love coming from? It wasn't coming from her father's house. He didn't even love her. She was a pawn to him in his scheme, in his political prowess. But I'm sure he painted it like he did love her. Oh, this is the best for you. Just marry this guy. No, it's the best for you, Saul. We know that. David knew that. So he eventually goes back to take his trophy. Taking is not stealing. Taking is not rape. Please. I'll even argue with this on the side of Bathsheba. Number one, the servants go to take her. She lays with him. The Bible is very explicit. If there's any moment in which a man is overpowering somebody, I don't even want to go into the conversation, but you understand what I'm saying. To do something negative to that person, it's going to say that that's what the person did. Okay. David was not overpowered. David did not have a woman problem. Number one. Okay. To even think he needed to do something like that. Take, it's not stealing. Take ain't rape. Take Take ain't nothing loony. It ain't stalking. It ain't whatever. And I'm only saying this because we talking about relationships right now. But after the break, I'm going to talk to you about it in a wider spectrum. I'm just framing up for you that life in victory, in living your dreams is going to be a series. It's going to become a series of God, life giving, and you taking. We gave you an example of what taking can look like when it's rightfully yours. It may be in another man's hand. This is the problem you're having. Because a lot of times you don't know what you've been given through life. Some instances you're going to have to take authority, take an opportunity, take time. There's going to be some taking in your life. If you don't have a natural bone for taking, you're going to miss out because, again, it may be in another man's hand. But if it's given to you by God, it's not his possession. And you got to know the difference, because you don't want to end up, and may none of us ever take what is not ours. This is for all of my listeners, for all of you Iexist Nation characters. It ain't happened in my life, and it ain't going to happen. Not once. May we never take what is not ours, but may we take, and we'll get to this later. What's given, again, taking is nothing loony, nothing weird for the weirdos that could potentially be watching. And I'm not calling you weirdos. I'm saying if you think take is anything crazy, immoral, unjust, whatever, because taking what's in another man's hand was not unjust. She was already given to him by God. And you better know the difference, because sometimes in your life, somebody may frame up another reality, right? Like what I'm saying is there's a lot of times where I'm being very honest with you. Some of y'all struggle with the idea, and that there was a land that a people that maybe God chose came in and took from another people. You struggle with that idea. And it was not actually out of bounds from a heavenly standpoint. I'm sorry I'm waxing so spiritual right now in a business and leadership edition. But number one, you better have a relationship with God to know the difference. Sorry. Business is a spiritual game. I took that from Tony Robbins. Okay. You better be spiritual in this life. This is why I do the spiritual edition. Because you need to know the difference. You need to have enough discernment. God got to be directing what to take. But some of you have a problem with the idea that what could be in another man's hand is land, is a house, is something. And then you go through again, nothing I'm saying is loony. You go through the proper processes and channels, but listen, it's going to be a taking. You don't do it unjustly. This is another reason I believe that David really left Michal there and only took her when it was the right time into his house, because a queen is made for a coronation, and he was in conflict at the time they met. So he could not take her. Okay. Lastly, here's what I'm saying to you. A lot of you have a hard time imagining these things, but I promise you some of the things. I want to give you so many examples that you're going to need to take in life right now are in another man's hand. If I had time, I would compare and contrast the stories a little bit more, because, again, I agree with the idea, and I've actually never heard this being pitched, so I'm just telling you, that it wasn't David's, even, again, their formal union in the beginning was the giving. The taking happened at his coronation, or at his crowning, when he was taking the throne, the kingdom, taking the throne. Okay. David actually, if you study the story, had to take the throne. It talks about the house of David and the house of Saul, one growing weaker, one growing stronger, things like that. Okay? Because there was a fight. There had to be a taking of the crown. This next thing, you all are going to have to be comfortable with taking. That throne, maybe, that God could be giving you. And I'm sorry, I'm presenting it so spiritual, right? Say life if you don't like whatever. God is life, in my opinion. Okay? And I'm not saying life as in like just existence. I'm saying his substance is what brings things to life. He is life itself. That means living. Okay? There are things that you'll need to take in this life to win the type of victory I know God would want to give you. I'm just telling you. So we'll talk about this. We'll frame this up a little bit. I was going to say actually that, if I had time, I would frame it up a little bit better, because there's signs, clues that kind of let you know where you are. You see, although David and McCall's love was forbidden, it was known. Everybody knew about it. Covertness was not a part of it. Okay. She told some people something, you know what I mean? Like, how do we know that their situation was not covert? Because it was on the rumor mill. How we know that? Because Saul heard about McCall's love for David and then used it as an occasion. I think I don't know how long ago, we talked about evil men using godliness as an occasion for wealth, trying to pursue wealth through the guise of godliness, as in this should be the reason I'm being paid because I'm godly. Okay, evil. Inheritance. So I don't want to get lost in that thought. So he used it as an occasion to try to entrap David. So that could mean a number of things. We know Saul wasn't a man of insight, maybe inference. He made educated guesses, but he definitely wasn't insightful, which is, on that end, you got to deal with the God of David. I love the live action too, because like it is a time that, the fear of the Lord had to come back to Saul through David at a particular point, even involving the whole situation with McCall and things like that. Like it's a dangerous man to play with because of who's God. He belonged to. Okay. There's other scripture in the Bible. I'm sorry. I told you I'm waxing I'm waxing a little bit scriptural this time, that talks about where God promises his people, Israel at the time. We've all been grafted in. If you're whatever outside of that, no matter what people tell you, Bryan is telling you, okay, you're all grafted in now. Okay. Whatever nation you're from, tongue, whatever the thing. Okay, the opportunity is up. Take the opportunity. Okay, because you in now. That's what God was given. Okay, so by his son, but there's a promise to Israel at the time that I'll give you houses that are furnished that you did not build, land that you did not tend, things like that. Right when your God gives you the land, it says, that was sworn to your forefathers. You have houses that you didn't build, land that you didn't tend, things like that, right? There's a whole list of things, right? But what I'm saying is you're uncomfortable right now with the idea that I need to, like, so who built the houses? Who tended the land? Y'all have to be very spiritual not to take me the wrong way today. If you're carnal, if you are not mature, if you're not spiritual, actually just cut this off. Because if your life ain't submitted to God, don't listen to nothing I'm saying. As a matter of fact, zero. I'm telling you right now, because I ain't going to be responsible for whatever punishment come on you when you taking what's another man's possession. If God don't give it to you, don't take it. You hear me? Please hear me. And if you don't know the last thing God gave and you have no clue how to be spiritual, nothing like that, just pause on this. Go begin a spiritual life with Christ. Then come back some years later or something. Okay? This is not for the immature. This is only for the people that are ready for the taking. And you have to be mature to even know what I'm saying. I tried to give you a difference there between what was in a man's possession and what was in a man's hand. Nothing loony. Okay. Although that was a relational context. Nothing loony. Although when I say talk about land and all these things, this is not just going to take somebody's stuff or whatever, but you have to understand it this way. And then we'll go to break. And I'm probably going to this is going to be such a lopsided presentation that the other side of this might be like 10 minutes for real. Because this is I don't want to say it that way. This is I worked on all my upper body. I was going to say heavy chested, but that's not probably proper. I worked on my upper body and not the legs. I walk through exercising the front. Okay. The top half. Okay. Sorry. So we might delete that for real. Amelie. So, I need to make sure you know nothing again. Take ain't stealing. Take ain't rape. Take ain't nothing close to any of these things. Even the women that David was dealing with did not come unwillingly. Even when he was doing the wrong thing, the sin. Okay. You got to think about it this way. If I can see you from my roof, you can probably see me. This ain't an accountability speech. I'm just giving the facts here. Okay. And if you wasn't fighting when somebody came to get you. Okay. All right. So, and then when advances were made that had to have happened before you actually slept, because this take ain't rape. And I'm sorry to keep saying that word for anybody that's, there's any trauma there. It ain't none. It's not force. You don't take by in this way. And I'm not demonizing the word force, but I'm not saying take by force. Let's say take by faith, okay? Even if it includes my God's design and his will, a little bit of force. But I'm not saying control. You're forcing another person. You're taking options away from them. One day I'm going to do a conversation on control and influence. Is that the reason why even Saul, his demonic controlling schemes, controlling the daughters, controlling all this other stuff. The reason why it's demonic to control is because the idea, and I always say this, growth and control cannot cohabitate. The reason why is because I either have to lie to you or at the least remove all options from you. That's what control means. So you can't even grow a brain that knows how to decide because I'm removing decisions or removing options from you. You can't grow that way. All of you adults who are comfortable with control. And all of you control freaks who don't know why it's demonic. And you're controlling grown people. I could get into a whole line of that. People are not pawns for your scheme, for your uprise. It's demonic. I want to play you this way. I want to give my daughter to this person because then this will be a loyal and this. It's demonic. Let it be known. Let it be said more than once by me and whoever. Okay? So, why am I saying all of this? Because the taking has begun. It's been initiated as of your hearing. Okay? On the other side of this, we'll give you some taking principles. I'll be back. All right? Let's go.
Hey, if you're enjoying the masterclass thus far, I have a couple things that I'm willing to bet that you'll enjoy either just as much or even more. The first of those things is Wisdom for Days. It's my new book, and it is a compilation of 306 quotes that I've put together over years of experiences that are personal to me, that I know will help you out in your everyday life. Listen, it's just a great book. I highly recommend it to you. I want you to get it. You can get it at becomingallthatweare.com. Also, while you're there, pick up my book, A New Home. Go to the website. You can see all the details about it. It's a book that I've geared towards leaders that really will help you if you're feeling like you don't fit in life, as if you stand out in some type of way that you may not want to, but you just can't help it. This is all about how to get rid of your need to fit in and really stand out and be the person that you were created to be. The third thing that I want to tell you about is my podcast, Living the Dream. It is an Iexist podcast that I developed a few years ago that has tons and loads of great information, wisdom, insight. I gear it towards the people who need the reality of living the dream. I know that talking about the dream is one thing, but to live it is an entirely different thing. And if you want insight in what it's like to actually live a dream, that is the podcast for you. Go pick these things up. Go listen to these things. They'll continue to help you on your journey to progression, to freedom.
Freedom, such an elusive concept for many, available to all, yet grasped by few. A freely given birthright, yet more costly in its expression than most believe they can afford. But what is the cost to live without it? Wars have been forged over it, and yet it belongs to the peaceful. Slaves have been made in their master's attempt to barter his or her way into its city gates. But the gates of freedom are not open to the despot. Freedom is not accepted by the weak. It is the way of the strong, the gateway to growth, progress, and ultimately for everyone, a life full of fulfillment.
Welcome to an Iexist Masterclass.
Sinatra's song My Way, I Did It My Way, should be his theme song forever because he did it his way. He didn't wait for anybody to tell him how to do it. He did it his way.
Why you worry about me? Why you worry about me? Worry about me, it's whatever I should. Yeah.
You say there's really no way to win. You say the pressure's too much giving. You should just hold your breath, cause I say I'll do this my way. Can't understand why you're worried about me. Made up my mind that I would be free. So just keep that to yourself, cause I say I'll do this my way.
Hold up. They like, B, why you all in this rap-ish? I'm starting to feel like you capping. I'm starting to feel like you acting. I'm starting to feel I'm being catfished. Do touchy subjects and ad-libs. Are you a preacher, man? Or a lyricist? Cause I don't really know if this hat fits. I'm like, wow, that's how you feel. I guess I just keep it all to myself. Want no opinions. I don't need your help. But since you asked, let me share this wealth. Thing is, I'm both full of wisdom, full of wealth, full of God, still a earth shell. Ain't into sorcery, but I break spells. Learn to bring heaven, cause I've been through hell. And to trust funds, but I don't trust well. I'm a businessman and I'm God's man. Got a nurse brand and I dress well. I'm a lamb dressed in wolf's clothes. I'm a lion dressed in a man's robe. Dealt a bad hand, but I don't ever fold. I'm a high priest with no church clothes. Look, no cap. So you really mad cause I don't do what you do? Think I'm a fool cause I don't choose what you choose. Still living well while I break all the rules. Looks like you might have this whole thing confused. Y'all hypocrites are like 9 people, but when it come to hats, I can't wear a few. Stop playing.
You say there's really no way to win. You say the pressure's too much given. You should just hold your breath, cause I say I'll do this my way. Can't understand why you're worried about me. Made up my mind that I would be free. So just keep that to yourself, cause I say I'll do this my way.
Hey, if you're enjoying the masterclass thus far, I have a couple things that I'm willing to bet that you'll enjoy either just as much or even more. The first of those things is Wisdom for Days. It's my new book, and it is a compilation of 306 quotes that I've put together over years of experiences that are personal to me, that I know will help you out in your everyday life. Listen, it's just a great book. I highly recommend it to you. I want you to get it. You can get it at becomingallthatweare.com. Also, while you're there, pick up my book, A New Home. Go to the website. You can see all the details about it. It's a book that I've geared towards leaders that really will help you if you're feeling like you don't fit in life, as if you stand out in some type of way that you may not want to, but you just can't help it. This is all about how to get rid of your need to fit in and really stand out and be the person that you were created to be. The third thing that I want to tell you about is my podcast, Living the Dream. It is an Iexist podcast that I developed a few years ago that has tons and loads of great information, wisdom, insight. I gear it towards the people who need the reality of living the dream. I know that talking about the dream is one thing, but to live it is an entirely different thing. And if you want insight in what it's like to actually live a dream, that is the podcast for you. Go pick these things up. Go listen to these things. They'll continue to help you on your journey to progression, to freedom.
Freedom, such an elusive concept for many, available to all, yet grasped by few. A freely given birthright, yet more costly in its expression than most believe they can afford. But what is the cost to live without it? Wars have been forged over it, and yet it belongs to the peaceful. Slaves have been made in their master's attempt to barter his or her way into its city gates. But the gates of freedom are not open to the despot. Freedom is not accepted by the weak. It is the way of the strong, the gateway to growth, progress, and ultimately for everyone, a life full of fulfillment.
Welcome to an Iexist Masterclass.
Hopping round, you was glad cause it's your birthday. Till your mom called and said your birthday was her worst day. Even with the drama, you can still make it the best day, cause it's the best day, yeah. Baby, it's your birthday and it's the best day. It went the worst way, but let it fade away. Let it fade away, cause it's the best day, yeah. It's your birthday. It's gonna be was picking out your fit, plan to decorate your crib. You was about to get it lit, I know, yeah. You was changing out the codes, leading autumn. You was writing down your goals, I know, hey. You plan to turn it up tonight, well, alright. Then wake up to a better life. We still got time to make this right. Yes, I know, yes, I know, yes, I know, yes, I know. Jetting round, you was glad cause it's your birthday. Till the pilot called and said your bag won't be at baggage claim. Even with the drama, you can still make it the best day. Cause it's the best day, yeah. Baby, it's your birthday and it's the best day. It went the worst way, but let that fade away. Let that fade away, cause it's the best day, yeah. It's your birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy, yeah. You've been dreaming about the day when you was 26 years old. You was bold, hard to go, you was always touching road. Always paying for the folks, never broke. Day before, heart was so fly, 25 still working at the store. Get it, girl, cause you was born.
All right, dope. Thank y'all for returning. Hopefully the front half was good enough that you come back. I know it was, but maybe hopefully you had the time to go come straight back. Obviously, if you're watching this, I want to say this, excuse me, that there's a break in there. There's our opening session. I don't want to explain it right now, but we have our podcast or our episodes established this way for a reason. I'm not changing it. So it's a little bit of a bummer, maybe some of you who watch this when it's live. But if you, and I'm saying if this is like your 60th episode or something like that, then, you don't have to be shown the same things over and over again if you want to get straight to the meat of the issue. And so there's two ways you can do that. Number one, our pre-show always starts 30 minutes before the actual live. Okay. So this comes on at currently 4 p.m. on Sunday evenings. And if you want to not necessarily see all of the pre-show, and this is not for those of you who are doing in-house gatherings around these, okay? But for those of you who are just watching alone or something like that, you don't have to necessarily jump in until 4 if you want to skip some of that because you've seen it before, whatever the thing, okay? Also, if you're not watching this live, we have chapters connected to each video now, okay? So if you go into the description portion of this video, you can skip right to the class, right? You don't even have to tap 100 times to try to get yourself to a particular place in the teaching or the class. All right. So you can skip to whatever part you need to. There's chapters for the first half, the second half. If you wanted to just see the commercials or the intro, or maybe you missed something because we switched our commercials out and, you may be watching it the day we release some new thing that you need to hear about. Listen, you can just skip around. OK, that's just for those of you who are longtime viewers. All right. Also, I don't want to pitch a whole lot because we're going to get out of here because of the top heavy podcast this has become, or teaching or class this has become. So I want to just only say to you, all right, join the nation.
the Iexist Nation, our monthly subscription. It will connect you to community. I also want to say within this subscription, please, I used the word community 2 seconds ago for a reason. We talked about in Planet how you need to be rooted somewhere for maximum growth. That can be a community-oriented organization, something like that. We do have a community within it. And listen, there's opportunity even, and I don't say this actually enough, even once you've taken on the subscription, join the community, the Iexist Nation, there's opportunity for many other things. Number one, you need to go actually look at the Iexist Nation page where there should be full enough description to let you know some of the other things that are part of it, not just getting you over your hurdles and things like that. We're also very community oriented, right? So we'll be doing things that are more involved. There's opportunity to serve with us on the outside of, again, you learning and growing and being taught particular things that are specifically tailored for you through the vein of coaching. There's opportunity to sit with us and discuss and kind of really where I can give you a deeper dive into some of the teachings. Some of you are like, this is deep enough. It's like, I'm telling you, it goes deeper. Okay. So even being able to sit with a core of you or a group of you privately at one time to actually go deeper into the teachings that's available to you. To be very honest with you, there's a way that you can even learn and become a part of Iexist. So, we got things that have to do with you being able to be taught to be a coach, things like that. Okay. I also want to say this too, just because it comes to mind. I just want to let you know, none of this for me is fake. It's not a money grab or something like that. And the reason why, and here's how you know that, because we're in this, I said in the last presentation, we're planning, we're in this for the long run. So that means that there's no quick get rich schemes or anything like that. I would never even teach you that way. No matter what you bring to me as a problem that we need to help you solve, no get it quick type of mentality over here, right? So none of this is, I never used a fake clap, anything. I don't know. It's just, I'm not a pro fake person, by the way. If you do that stuff, if you have the studio clap button or something like that, this is no jab towards that. I'm saying that what we're doing is real. Okay. We have if you take subscriptions with us, there's real subscriptions. We have real coaching contracts. We have real code of conduct that we operate by. We have real, even myself, certification, things like that. Okay. Although I don't talk about it because the gifting is what makes me do this, not any certification. I think we can qualify ourselves from getting a certificate or something like that. And I'm gifted to do this, which is why I do it. I don't even put any weight a lot of times on a certification, more so than the ability to do something by God's grace, right? The certificate can just help you hone in some things, obviously give you language for particular things that you might be dealing with. This is coaching. This is not therapy. So we will send you to someone who is more, number one, who is qualified, who is licensed, things like that. If it's a situation that we, quote unquote, can't handle or should not, especially legally, things like that. Listen, Iexist is we're a real business. Ain't nothing fake. Ain't nothing. I'm not even that type of person. Okay. I'm only saying that to you so that you realize that help is here. Okay. This is a real effort for us that we strongly take very seriously, no matter how many jokes you may hear me tell through this whole thing, right? This is a real effort for us, all right? We take this very seriously, and I need to make sure you know that. So super quickly, let's get back into this. The taking. Join us, the nation, subscribe, like, share this with everybody. I want you to understand. I want you to get comfortable. This is only for the people who are in a particular season of your life, because you have to mature for the taking to even be a thing in your life. So let me just go here. The first principle I want to give you around the taking is timing. We talked to you about David and Michal, right? About how a queen is made for a coronation, for a crowning. She was a queen, okay? She was raised to be that way. She was meant to be that. She was domesticated in a way that would make her fit for a king. While David was out in the wild in a time of conflict and things like that. And I want you to notice this. I didn't say this earlier, but biblically, the story, the narrative is that even when she fell in love with David and Saul tries to use her to entrap him and ended up having to give her over in marriage, it says that Saul gave her to David. But it's not until years later that it says that David took her. Because timing is important. It also says about David and Bathsheba, when he took the wrong woman from another man who was in another man's possession. The story is very interesting, by the way, because even Saul's daughter, right? She's being posed as his daughter, right? This is the one who David takes soon enough in the right time to be his wife. But then you have another story in which David's taking another man's wife. But when the prophet Nathan comes to give David God's rebuke, it says, my goodness. Nathan, by the way, who was a third party, he was a prophet, okay? He had nothing to do with the ordeal. Y'all got to be careful about the Sauls in this world. I'm telling you, these are master framers, okay? They'll frame stories because political prowess is their game. A third party. But anyway, so Nathan comes in and he says, hey, you know, God's rebuking this particular person. It wasn't the husband that rebuked him on behalf of God. It was. But listen to how the scripture poses this couple. It says that the prophet or the preacher, I don't know how you want to, and I know I told you, I'm sorry. This is the business and leadership edition. I promise I'll give you a tad bit on business in 2 seconds. Okay. I am giving you business now, but you got to be able to hear me. It says that he makes David see the wife as a lamb who belongs to a particular, let's say, shepherd. Okay. It says that this lamb was raised alongside of the master's children, as if what I'm saying is the Nathan is posing when he's giving David a picture of the wrong he did, the wife that he took from another man's possession as a daughter. So the reason why I want to say this is because these are two opposite pictures of taking. Okay. One is being posed as a daughter. It says that the husband essentially, or it says that the man in the who the lamb belonged to, who represented the wife, raised her. And it was the only lamb he had. And David had plenty of lamb. Okay. Lamborghinis. Okay. Lambs. All right. Like he had more than enough, but he took from the poor man. That's another thing. So let's talk about timing really quick. you see that there is even a gap between the time McCall is given and David took, because the taking cannot happen in your life until there's a particular maturation. There's a particular maturity level that you have to grow into. Listen, a queen is for a king. David, although warrior, although champion, was at a point of conflict. What is a point of conflict in your life? You're still growing yourself. You're still changing your behaviors. You're still getting to the point of maturity. You're still building yourself. Actually, the time before the taking is the making. Just hear me. Remember, life isn't just for the making, it's for the taking. A lot of you are not comfortable with the taking, not yet, because you haven't made or been made by life itself yet, or you aren't done being made. Because you got to make a life to take before. I'll give you another example, just giving you some biblical reference. I apologize again, and this is going so scriptural on the business and leadership. Moses, who was a prophet, goes, who is the law, actually, goes and he has to deliver his people, right? They would come into a land that God was giving them. But guess what? There were people on the land that had been tending the fields, building, doing all that stuff, right? Literally, biblically, the idea is that these people could not inherit this land. It took them 40 years, not 11 days that it should have taken them to get to this particular land. It took them 40 years. A whole generation had to die out because biblically, the idea is that these people were not ready for war. What am I saying to you? I know y'all don't like that. We don't like taking. We're very, democratic today. We're very fragile. We're very passive. You don't want to hear about the taking. But there are certain goals and dreams. I told you, you want the high goals, you want the high dreams, because listen to me, anything worth having, somebody already has it anyway. Y'all used to making stuff from scraps, from things that people don't want. The taking is for the dream life. This is why you don't have a dream life yet, because you ain't taking. You gotta think about what I'm saying. If it's worth anything, somebody got their hands on it. You just need to make sure that what you're taking is not another man's possession. The land that they were going to was flowing with milk and honey. You think it's just going to sit there? God just gave it to them and nobody was going to be squatting on it? No, it was worth something. That means somebody was going to find a way to put it in their hands. God want to give you something that's worth something. Those are the things you got to take. So let's go back to timing really quickly. The time. He was given it in one quote, quote season, but couldn't take it until he was made. He had already been made a champion. He had already been made a warrior, but he had not been crowned. God cannot give you a queen in the time of your conflict. He was still. So again, what does this look like? You're getting yourself together. Okay. Point blank. You need to be made. You need to know how to not to deal with the jealousies and all this other things. If we're, you need to get the Saul out of you. If there's any in you, please. You got to be made first. Then comes the taking. So do not take in the time of your making. This is where you fumble and you fall into error. The error where David misjudged. Not until you're ready, okay? You can make a mistake. But long story short, here we go. The timing is improper. I told y'all this was going to be a short half. I'm really on the side of like calling it a quits, so my cameraman won't like convulse from shock of so much substance. Okay. Let's see if I want to make any more comparisons really quickly. Is there? That's what I have for you, okay? The right time. It's about the right time. It's about the right time. Don't take while you're being made. When you're trying to make something of yourself, people, and I'm saying this rightfully, queens don't even deserve that. Again, McCall was domesticated. She was raised in such a way that whoever was gonna come sweep her off her feet, you know, think about your princesses and all this other stuff. David needed to be made. No, despite what anybody else thought about it, whatever, despite the despising that her father had, which was not good. The jealousy, all these things. I can't imagine her being under another king's influence, rule, who did the king who could not, as soon as he tried to figure it out. I would like to know the timeline. As soon as he figured out David was no longer available, he said, let me hurry up and get this woman to somebody that I ain't jealous of. The issue becomes timing. Queens are for a coronation. Queens are for a crowning. The dream life you want, the taking, has to happen in time. David took when he wasn't supposed to. This is where you make the evil mistake. Also, last comparing and contrast, the proper channels. Okay? Notice, even when David was given McCall, there were proper. So let me say this to you, just to get a little bit more of the God-forsaken part out of it. Okay. Even when you're taking, you're abiding by some type of law. Okay. You do things rightfully. He married her in one season, took her in another one. But what I'm saying is he did it through proper channels, pay the bride price, whatever the thing is, right? What I'm saying is there was nothing covert about their love, his appetite in terms of what he was willing to do to get her. So his love for her was not hidden. Everybody knew. I'm sure they could feel it. Okay. But proper channels. There had to be a proper reckoning, or there had to be a proper love joining. Okay. When David was with Bathsheba, the whole thing was covert. Actually, see and listen to me, nobody knew about it except for his servants. Except for David's servants, whom he used to, be his wingmen, essentially. And how much they even knew, I don't even know. I'm not even putting on them that they knew exactly what he was going to do, because all he asked was, who is this? And bring her to me. I think the whole thing was secret. Y'all have to know which is which, people. timing, proper channels. Obviously, you're going to do things the right way. Again, let's end this way. May every one of you who's watching me, every David who's watching specifically, not touch what is not his, what is of another man's possession. Okay. McCall was not another man's possession. She was given by God. How do we know? Her love sprung up for him. May every McCall have the wisdom to know the difference, the Davids in her life, because there was no one better for her. This is gonna lead you into it wasn't no, I don't care what Saul said, it wasn't no standard higher than David's in his day. Oh, he's just my. Trickery. Musician, my fighter or something like that. He was a leader. He was a warrior. He was given his own battalion, platoon at the time. Even in Saul's house, no higher standard. Okay. She would have had to know insight. Again, Saul, no matter what was said, although although used at particular points with a gifted moment, was not a man of literally had no insight. Okay. So I'm saying to you, may all the Davids, may every McCall also actually have the grace to inherit David's house, so that she won't have to be put to the side and fall into the trap of her or into her father's trap of despising. Again, may we all fall in line with a perfect union with the dreams. Here's really what I'm saying. I'm personalizing, or I'm personifying the same way I did from the beginning, but fall perfectly in line. May the dream be made for us. May we be made for the dream. May we take all, every David, take everything that's designed for you and touch nothing that's not designed for you. In the name that's above all names. Okay? All right. As you know, we all agree here. We're on one accord that our position in your life is that you would prosper. Our take on life is that you should. Our desire is that you would. And we're here to help you get there, okay? Join the nation. Until next time.
We hope you enjoyed our experience. If you would like to gain access to more in-depth teachings such as this one, a host of other products and services, or the opportunity to partner with others who are becoming all that they are, join our exclusive membership community. Join the nation, the Iexist Nation. All the info you need can be found in the description of this video. Until next time.
Life just keeps getting better and better. You just wait and see. You don't have to see it now in order to believe. Life just keeps getting better and better. You just wait and see. You don't have to see it now in order to believe. Better, 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 better. Ooh, better, 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 better. Life just keeps getting better and better. You just wait and see. You don't have to see it now in order to believe. Life just keeps getting and better. You just wait and see. You don't have to see it now in order to believe. Life just keeps getting better and better. You just wait and see. You don't have to see it now in order to believe. Better, 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 better. Oh, better, 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 oh yeah, better, ooh, better, better, yes it is.